The call came just as I was rinsing the last glass. "Hey," she said, voice soft and syrupy. "So, how were the cookies?" I paused, not because I forgot, not because I hesitated, but because I wanted to hear it again, how she phrased it. "The cookies. I gave them to your kids," I said simply. "They love sweets." Silence. It wasn't long, but it was deep. Then she snapped, like glass under pressure. "You did what?" I didn't flinch. I just leaned against the counter, watching the water swirl down the drain like it was washing something away. There was something about her voice in that moment. Not panic, not anger. Something in between. Like the tone someone uses when the bullet they fired hits the wrong target. Something was wrong. I knew it the second I hung up, but I didn't call back. I just sat in it, waited for it to rot. The next day, she dropped off a second batch. No note this time, just a plastic container, no ribbon, no smile. It felt like a cover-up, like a reset button pressed too hard. My brother didn't mention it. He rarely notices what she does anymore. Their marriage, a museum of sharp corners and unspoken pacts. But me? I notice everything. It's the burden of being the silent one at family dinners. You watch people reveal themselves when they think you're not listening. The cookies were just too perfect. The call, too rehearsed. And her reaction? Not maternal concern, not disappointment. No, it was fear. Fear that something had gone off script. And that's when it hit me. They weren't meant for kids. They weren't meant for anyone who'd lived to tell how sweet they were. I didn't take the cookies to the lab right away. I waited. 3 days. I wanted to see if she'd follow up, if guilt would crack the mask. But she didn't call, didn't ask. So I went. Told them I suspected mold, allergens. A lie, but not really. I had to know what was in them, what was meant for me. While I waited for the results, I started watching her, quietly, casually, like a brother-in-law who just happened to pass by the school pickup line, or see her shopping alone, or texting on the porch when my brother was working late. She was nervous. She'd fidget when she saw me, force a smile, but she never mentioned the cookies again. 3 days later, the lab emailed. Traces of diphenhydramine in lethal concentration, enough to sedate an adult past waking, combined with zolpidem, a sweet death, masked in homemade love, and I had handed it, neatly, to her children. That's when the rage should have come, but it didn't. Instead, there was a strange calm, like everything was finally making sense. I printed the report, put it in an envelope, no return address, and I mailed it to her. Not to my brother, not yet. Let her read it alone. Let her sweat under the weight of possibility. She came to my door that evening, no knock, just the bell, pressed too many times in a row. When I opened it, her eyes were glassy. Her voice trembled, but she tried to hold the edges. "Where are they?" she asked. I didn't ask who. I knew. "They're fine," I said. "They never finished them." She crumpled against the doorframe, breath ragged. She began, but I cut her off. Not with anger, with stillness. "You sent me death in a bow," I said, "and called to see how it tasted." Her face cracked then. No more excuses, no more pretense, only horror, only consequence. I didn't yell, I didn't threaten. I handed her a second envelope, this one for my brother. "I haven't given it to him yet," I said. "That's your clock ticking." She opened it there, read the words, the lab seal, the intent behind every grain of sugar. And then she looked at me like I was the one who'd broken her. As if she wasn't the one who baked poison. "You don't understand," she whispered. "He was going to leave me. You always made him see me for what I am." I raised an eyebrow. "So you decided to show him what you really are?" Her tears weren't for guilt. They were for losing control. That's what this was, really. A failed manipulation. A trap that misfired. And now, she was the one scrambling. I closed the door gently. That was mercy enough. I mailed the envelope to my brother 2 days later. He hasn't called. Not yet. Maybe he's pretending it didn't happen. Maybe he's watching her sleep and wondering how many nights she'd planned his. Maybe he's waiting for her to explain. Maybe he won't. As for me, I don't eat gifts anymore. I don't celebrate my birthday. And I never trust sweetness that comes without reason. Some people bake love. Others bake silence. And sometimes that silence kills. But only if you taste it.